United States, it's our right and our obligation to segregate them from the normal community.
That's what we're doing here, and let's not kid about it. We're building a domestic army because the government is afraid of its own citizens.
Put your gun down, really?
Rallying patriots worldwide in defense of human liberty. It's Alex Jones.
Are you some kind of a constitutionalist?
So these people who hold themselves out to be patriots are not. They're nothing more than domestic terrorists.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're facing a Red Dawn scenario, a sneak attack scenario, but not from Cuba right now. We're facing it from big globalist combines like Bilderberg and Davos and George Soros, who admit they're bringing in a planetary world government where they make the rules, they pick the winners and the losers. And where Homeland Security for 8 years under Obama, it had some problems before, but under Obama, gun owners, veterans, conservatives, libertarians are the #1 enemies as they bring in massive amounts. It's not in the tens of thousands, folks. They're covering up the number, just like they cover up the illegals. The Border Patrol tells us they complete the smuggling process. It's got to be in the hundreds of thousands of refugees here, 5 million in Europe. They're just ignoring all the laws. They let people in that have TB. Our government is acting like it's actually out to get us because it's not our government, in my view. And we have seen the last 4 years, you heard it here first with our guest, Cy Hirsch and Colonel Schaefer and many others, that our own military said we're not going to back al-Qaeda in Syria. They started giving the intel to the Russians. Now, you knew that 4 years ago here. That was declassified in the last 6 months. That was released in the press in the last 6 months. So the good news is there's still America left that's following the Constitution and the Bill of Rights to a certain extent, and you've got criminal alien globalist groups from outside this nation that are absolutely preparing to bring down this nation and the rest of the world in a financial, economic collapse, warfare, you name it. All the ingredients are there. So Tim Kennedy, who is known as a UFC fighter, I know better because I follow what's going on in the country, that he's one of the most experienced Special Forces soldiers ever, many tours around the world, some of the most classified elite units, which qualify him to talk about COG destabilization programs because they study them on both sides. And when he came in a few weeks ago and said they're planning destabilization and collapse, that doesn't mean they're going to totally implement it, but it means it's being looked at, and it's not just on the drawing board, it's being moved forward right now. And he can correct me if I'm wrong, but from all my information and just studying this in our context, this is like a 9 on a Richter scale. Previous stuff was a 2 or a 3. This is all the alarm bells are going off, all the political sensors are going off, the elites are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, they're weaponizing the media now more than ever, they're pulling out all the stops in my view. And so, I'll just tell the story and then give him the floor. It's hard to shut me up. But he was already here today doing some work with us, so I said, please come in. That Shane Steiner, I've known him since high school. These guys have been training together for a few years. Got to know him. We talked about preparedness. He talked about how I should go out and, do some training and just get prepared for what's unfolding. And then the more and more we talked, we just said, well, why not actually produce some internet tutorials that are also exciting and entertaining so folks watch them on how to get ready and how to get prepared and how to promote a true patriot or dangerous freedom are your terms, culture that is the antithesis of this jellyfish, coward culture, emasculated male, disempowered female. So just a pro-human force multiplication that you're so well trained in that I've organically developed to reach out and empower the American people to resist by becoming healthy and involved and being leaders, and that will automatically counterbalance the attempts they've engaged in to make us all domesticated. And so we're launching this True Patriot initiative that you'll see roll out in the next few weeks and next few months on top of your incredible schedule and mine, and UFC and special things you're doing on the side and hunting Hitler. You're a guy that works 18 hours a day. It's going to be around somebody that has more energy than I do. Tim Kennedy, it's great to have you here with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you got the floor. Tell us about True Patriot and where we stand and where this country's going, because as things get so bad, And as the situation gets bad, you're going to see more and more alliances and more patriots coming together with the courage you've got to be associated with InfoWars, my friend.
Yeah. It's scary sometimes, but it's exciting. You know, true patriot is it's this idea that we're going to empower people to, for the first time, grab onto what it means to be a patriot. Like the loose assumption that we can just live our life in liberty, that we can grab our freedom and do whatever we want, it can never be realized. Unless you train, unless you prepare, unless you understand what individual responsibility looks like. So a true patriot, you know, if you go to Infowars.com/true patriot, we are rolling out not only tutorials, not only impassioned truth-telling videos, but we're giving you the skills to be just that, an individual that can live its life in liberty and freedom. We're showing you how to shoot. We're showing you how to grow your own food. We're showing you how to exercise every single one of those beautiful amendments that were written by our founding fathers. You know, they were brilliant. They were geniuses, but they knew what was coming, and they knew what they had just fought in 1776, and they never wanted to see that again. So they wrote these things and said, you have to be able to, just like a muscle, exercise these frequently, because if you don't, they die. And that's what true patriot is. We are passionate in this idea of freedom and liberty. You know, I have been to countries that believe in socialism, that try to enact communism. They don't work, right? The one thing that we know works is freedom. And I've fought for it. I've killed for it. I've bled for it. Now I sweat for it. Now I teach it. And you have to buy onto this idea and believe it and train it every single day. And that takes hard work. And that's what true patriot is.
Well, there's the saying, you know, you talk the talk, you walk the walk. And it's absolutely true. We have to physically go out and plant gardens. We have to physically spend time with our children. We have to physically turn the TV off. We have to physically go for a jog. We have to physically stop eating GMO. If we do all those physical things, then the mind awakens and turns on. Then we'll go to city council. Then we'll run for office. Yeah. But we have to physically get out of the malaise that so many patriots are in physically, myself included, a long journey from just totally only being cerebral and gaining like 80 pounds and getting totally out of shape. But I used to be in great shape. It's been a slow journey, but I've gotten back in probably 90% back to where I was. And again, then I'm that much better at fighting the globalists. And, you know, as you guys have done in the Green Berets and the Special Forces, going behind enemy lines in occupied tyrannical nations, organizing the people to resist tyranny. You know, the motto, to paraphrase it, you know, is what? Free the oppressed, defend the oppressed?
It's the oppressed will bear. Yeah, it's to freers of the oppressed.
And so getting back to that, yeah, our government may be run by criminals, and we may be going into a world government, but America's still alive. All of us are seeds, and Tim Kennedy's a big seed. I'm a seed. You're a big seed to grow the mighty oak, and to have somebody like Tim Kennedy here, you know, activating in America in the real battle for the Republic is a true leadership model to everybody else in the military and out of the military. Because, you know, obviously in the Pentagon, you're one of their top, you know, promoters, patriots, you know, one of their big names out there. Here you are on your own with InfoWars, knowing what you're doing because the country's in so much trouble, folks. And you're going to see more of this. People are in the government who are good. Most of them are good. And corporations are good. They have just been compartmentalized. They've been taught they don't have any power. But Tim's motivated. Yeah, he's a super soldier. He won't tell you that himself, but he's the best there is. I've been told by the you know, other folks in the military, and he's here to defend the Republic. But I want to ask you a question. What are you doing now? Because, listen, I don't do this because I'm some hero. I do this because instinctively, I can't be run over and be a slave without standing up. I'm just a regular guy 20-something years ago, got involved, and see where we are. Imagine when Tim gets involved and you get involved. We're looking to win this thing, not just be, you know, overrun and defeated or, you know, hide out in the woods. We're going to go out and take this country back.
Hey, you hit the nail on the head when you said it takes work. It is so easy to control a populace that is weak and that's pathetic, that they have no skills to do anything. They have to rely on somebody else. You have to have somebody give you a phone because you can't earn enough money to go get one for yourself. You don't even know how to grow food. You don't know how to change your oil. You are literally living your life as a slave. So individual responsibility, you know, it's the idea of dangerous freedom. I would prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. Slavery is, no, it's not in chains. I'm out picking cotton. That's not what I'm saying. When you give every single bit of who you are and the strength of your person to somebody else and make them provide what you need, your subs.
Let's show Trigglypuff. I know you almost cry. So do I mean, we laugh because we're uncomfortable. We're not pleased at the social justice warriors that can't talk and just scream racist. We're not pleased to see Trigglypuff that's like, you know, 4'9" and weighs 300 pounds and sucking a bottle, screaming ban free speech. We are threatened by the masses of dangerous dangerous lemmings like them that'll run us and our families over a totalitarian cliff. And we're here to, as Paul reveres, to say now is the time to reactivate and take action.
Yeah. My safe zone, it's about 2,000 meters because that's how far I can shoot. I train that. I work that. And all the way from 2,000 back to 5 meters, every single different range setting, I'm pretty efficient with a gun. So my safe zone, it's not you saying a word that I'm uncomfortable with. It's me training and knowing that I'm proficient to provide for my family and make sure that they're safe. And that's my safe zone.
Well, think about this. They have university studies. You can pull them up. 7 million people died of starvation or in association with starvation from malnutrition in the Great Depression. We were 90% rural. Half the folks, roughly, were totally self-sufficient. The others partially. We are now 89% urban, and of the 11% that are rural, less than half are self-sufficient. 5% of the country is self-sufficient. I'm not self-sufficient compared to my dad, who grew up on a farm, and he's a doctor. But my dad can fix anything. I am an idiot compared to my dad. He is nothing compared to his dad. We are becoming jellyfish.
Yeah, but it's never too late. That's why I'm saying, just right now, what are you doing? Where are you doing your research? What are you doing with your day? What time are you getting up? What time are you going to bed? We were built to go to bed tired. You're not supposed to sit in your chair.
You have more energy when you bust your ass. I've got a study right here. Go ahead.
It's like the doors are opened, right? You're living, you got the blue pill, you got the red pill. One is you're going to live in slavery and you have no idea what's going on. They're just going to provide substance for you. The other one is this realization, this existential experience. And the more that you do it, every time that you train, every time that you work, every time that you exercise one of those freedoms, it's like another layer of these blocks.
I have more energy than when I was 18. I can't even hardly stand it. The more data I get and the more I realize I'm resisting tyranny but building something good, it's like I'm genetically meant to do it. And my brain and body goes, good, you're doing what you're supposed to. Here's all this energy and power. Boom.
They want you to be lemmings. They want you to be powerless. They want you to have no individual responsibility. They don't want you to know how to grow food. They don't want you to know how to change your oil. They don't want you to know how to shoot.
That's what's manly. Taking care of your kids, being a good father, being healthy.
That's it exactly. You want to talk about being a good parent? It's believing and knowing that you're doing everything in your power to ensure that they're safe and have everything that they need. Not a teacher, not a principal, not the government. That's not their job to raise your kids. It's your job. You raise them, you educate them, you give them their morals, you give them teach them what justice is. That is your job. Don't give that away. And that has to be hard work. And every single time that you start working hard at one thing, the stronger you get and the weaker they get. The stronger we are as a people, the weaker they are. Believe it and start doing it.
That's right. And who are we? I mean, what is a true patriot in your view? And I think your view is just, it's true. It's prima facie. It's not some secret we found. We're not cult leaders. We're not special, other than the fact that they've so enslaved people and put them in a trance. This is seen as bizarre right here, pure Americana. I'm seen as weird for being upset about them. The federal court just ruled they can ban our guns in public, that you can't have a gun out in public. I mean, this is serious. That was yesterday, folks.
A patriot is somebody that has the ability and the strength of will to live their life how they want to. Not somebody tell me what I can do. With that, there's an assumption that you are giving away some of the security, some of the safety that can be provided. I'm saying I don't want you to help me live my life.
Free-range humans?
That's it. Leave me alone.
Well, we know it sounds good to live in this controlled box, but people die. They turn into jellyfish. The brain dies. The body dies. They admit it. Humanity is in deep trouble. Every metric shows disease, ignorance. It's all exploding.
They can't control people that can do things on their own.
A bully goes to the mall and sees a bunch of shuffling wimps who don't even know about their surroundings and thinks, oh, I'm a criminal, great, I can feed on them. But somebody like you, we've talked about this, how upsetting is it to go see, and I don't think of myself as really tough or smart or anything, but compared to these people, I'm alive, they're dead. What is it like for you, one of the most highly trained people, works out probably the hardest in the world? What is it like for you to see how domesticated they are?
I just see weakness. It's not that I look at them and I feel sorry for them. I see an opportunity to plant a seed because I have hope. Hope is not a plan. That is, we had people running on that idea.
But at least you're optimistic.
Yeah, there's a chance. The soil is fertile right now. It can be cultivated. I am planting seeds every single time that you watch one of my videos, that you go to Infowars.com/True Patriot and you watch something. I'm planting a seed in your mind to go out and work, to go out and shoot, to go to the range, to practice free speech, to go and figure out how to what the difference between alternate current and direct current is and how that works in your electrical system. You're like, go do something that makes you stronger.
Find out where the meat comes from.